Hello everyone, it's Magic here, and today I have something interesting for you. I have actually two things. One is a brand new Sony camera, which I'm right now holding, so you can see it here in the B-roll. I'm going to talk briefly about this camera because I'm just using this for fun to record this video. And the second fun thing I have for you is the shoot that I'm about to shoot right now, a wedding shoot with a couple that I shot their wedding on Saturday. I'm South Poland in Polish mountains. Look at these epic mountains here in the background. They're amazing, so we're going up. We're going to be looking for spots to get these mountains in the backdrop, so we get this epic photos. So yeah, new camera and a winter shoot. Okay, so the camera is a Sony ZV-E1, which is a third ZV, actually fourth ZV camera from Sony, but this time we have a full frame camera. What is interesting about this camera, like all the specs, you can see them here, but what I found interesting is a 12 megapixel sensor, so it's like clearly kind of A7S-esque camera. And then there is no shutter. There is no mechanical shutter. It only shoots with electronic shutter if you take photos, but also it's packed with all the new features from all the modern Sony cameras, including the autofocus system with subject recognition from Sony A7IV. So that's all impressive. And my just quick impression on this camera, it feels like a marriage of A7C and A7S. It's clearly made towards filmmaking. I'm using now a 24G Master on it, handheld, as you can see, and with like the top mic, and it's very light, it's very compact, and you get the full frame. So you get the full frame look. And on top of that, the camera can record 4K 120 after the update that is not out yet. So there's software update coming that will enable this camera to shoot 4K 120. So all the footage from this video is going to be recorded with this, and now let's go shoot some photos. So the way I started this shoot was actually have them walking down, on this little patches of snow. As you can see, the weather, that's one, was not perfect. It was very gray and kind of boring with no like specific light. The mountains in the background are amazing, but also like what is kind of difficult in places like this, because of these patches of white and dark, the snow and the kind of a grass. My goal was to find a place so I can frame them within some sort of a space so they kind of stand out in the photo with still having those mountains kind of blurring in the background. I started with a 50mm f1.2G Master, and as you can see, well, I started like I just stopped them in a position and then get slightly closer and then slightly closer. So within just the one position, I took 3 different photos. And what you're gonna see, specifically in the first 2 photos, is how they are framed exactly within the white pieces of the snow. You see, like their heads are below the dark portions of the frame. So like they're exactly on just one type of background. And then the third photo is just this nice little strip of mountains in the background and kind of more intimate photo because I got closer to them. But yeah, I was using prime lens with a very wide aperture, so like the background kind of blurs, but also I like my images to be soft. So in order to get both mountains and a couple in focus for the next photo, I took the 2D Artisan 50mm f1.4 tilt lens. So tilt lens that allows me to have focus in 2 different places because I just tilt the plane of focus. So here you can see I still get the softness of the image, and the mountains in the background are actually in focus, which is extremely cool, I think. And then I use it once more. I ask them to dance a bit so I get some motion, something else than just a standing position, and also use the same way tilt lens to get both them and the background in focus while still maintaining this soft look. And for the next part of this shoot, we actually crossed the border. We went from Poland to Slovakia, to the other side of the mountains to get to that spot that is kind of closer to the mountains. And if there's anyone watching from Slovakia, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I love this place. Again, I started asking them to walk away from me, but I found this amazing spot that we could see the mountains in the background, and then I framed them in between green trees. So again, kind of the same principle that before. So I'm kind of trying to frame them the way that they stand out. that the background, you know, behind them is just smooth and clean, and there's not much happening to distract from looking at the couple, because the couple is the most important in these pictures. Obviously, we're using the mountains, beautiful epic mountains, but that's the background. That's not the main part of the picture. And I played around with this a bit. I shot 35 G Master and funny enough 85 G Master, which I don't use much, but I had it with me on this shoot because I knew I might need a compression, I might need a longer lens for stuff like this. And then final photo, one of my favorite ones, actually I used tilt lens again, but this time I decided to frame it with a lot of negative space. So I kind of went from a lower perspective to shoot slightly up. So I got them in between those mountains, and I tilt a lens kind of diagonally, so you can see that some of the mountains in the background are nicely blurred and some of them are not, which gives this kind of unique, I feel, intimate, nice look. And I went for a black and white photo this time. Also, all of these photos are edited with my Magic Tatra preset. If you want to support the channel, you can check them out down below, along with my courses for like editing photos and my Flash for wedding photography course. So this is it. That was the shoot here in Zakopane. It was beautiful actually. So I was shooting mainly 35 and a 50, as you could see. This is how the ZV-E1 worked. Now it's like 35-1.8 on it, so it's pretty tight, as you can see. Still pretty cool to have this kind of full frame vlogging camera. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the other videos, and I see you guys in the next video.